The financial world is shaking today because the unthinkable just happened. The US Federal Reserve has officially acknowledged Ripple's XRP. For years, XRP holders believed this moment would come, but few expected it to hit this hard, this fast, and this loud. After years of doubt, lawsuits, and speculation, the very institution that defines monetary policy in the United States has confirmed what many once called a conspiracy theory. XRP is being looked at as a legitimate part of the future financial system. This changes everything. It's not just about a cryptocurrency anymore, it's about a shift in how money moves around the globe. Ripple's mission has always been simple: faster, cheaper, and more efficient cross-border transactions. But with this new development, XRP isn't just a utility token, it's becoming a bridge between traditional banking and the new digital age. This is not just another headline that will fade away. The Federal Reserve's involvement or support, no matter how it's framed, sends a powerful message to banks, investors, and institutions around the world. It signals that Ripple is not just a player, it might be the backbone of tomorrow's digital economy. And with that, eyes are once again turning to the price of XRP. Can it really reach $10,000? It sounds insane to the average listener, but let's break this down. We've seen stranger things in crypto before. Bitcoin was once worth pennies, Ethereum launched under $1. When a digital asset aligns with global infrastructure and gets acknowledged by one of the most powerful financial institutions on earth, we have to take that possibility seriously. This isn't just about hype. This is about adoption, regulation, and technology finally meeting at the same crossroads. XRP has been criticized, ridiculed, and even dismissed over the years, especially during the long battle with the SEC. But now the narrative is flipping. When institutions like the Fed start recognizing Ripple's technology, it changes the risk profile. Suddenly, what was once risky starts to look like an opportunity. And that's where this story gets even more intense. People are beginning to ask, if XRP becomes the foundation for cross-border payments in the US or globally, how high can it really go? How much value will flow through the network? And what would that mean for every XRP holder out there? We are at a moment where history is being written in real time. What was once dismissed as just another coin is now being tied to the most powerful money printer in the world. If the Fed continues on this path and Ripple's network gets integrated deeper into financial systems, we may be looking at one of the biggest financial stories of the decade. XRP isn't just surviving the pressure, it's starting to rise from it. And now, with the spotlight brighter than ever, the big question remains: are we truly on the edge of a $10,000 XRP, or is this just the beginning of something even bigger? Just a few days ago, something surprising appeared in an official statement that sent waves through the crypto community. Hidden between technical language and economic updates, the US Federal Reserve mentioned Ripple's technology in a way that felt different. It wasn't vague, it wasn't speculative. It was clear: Ripple, and by extension its token XRP, is being viewed as part of the conversation around future payment systems. This was not a rumor, not a tweet, not a leaked memo. This was from the Fed itself. It's hard to explain how rare this is. The Federal Reserve is not known for talking about crypto in a serious or positive way. In fact, for a long time, most people in power dismissed crypto as a passing trend or even a threat. But now, XRP is no longer on the outside. It's being brought into the center of the financial future. The mention itself may have been short, but the impact is massive. It tells us that Ripple's work over the years, building partnerships, working with banks, and pushing for regulation, is finally getting noticed. We know that Ripple has been in talks with central banks across the world, from the UK to Asia to South America. Now, if the Federal Reserve is even considering or testing Ripple's technology, it could mean that the US financial system is preparing to take digital payments more seriously than ever before. And why wouldn't they? Ripple's on-demand liquidity system using XRP has already solved one of the biggest problems in international banking: how to move money fast, cheap, and securely. The old system, SWIFT, is slow and outdated. Ripple is fast and modern. That's the key difference. And the Fed seems to finally be paying attention. What makes this even more powerful is that it's happening while Ripple is still growing. They are expanding into more countries, signing more deals, and continuing to fight for clarity in the US legal system. While the SEC case has dragged on, Ripple hasn't stopped. And now their patience may be paying off. The Federal Reserve doesn't just casually drop names into reports or discussions, every word matters. So when they mention Ripple, they're not just talking, they're preparing. Maybe it's for a test, maybe it's for integration, maybe it's already happening quietly behind the scenes. But the fact that they're even speaking about it out loud means one thing: XRP has entered a new league. This changes the way investors, institutions, and even regulators will view XRP. It is no longer just a token involved in a lawsuit. It is no longer just a tool used by banks in other countries. It is now on the radar of the most powerful central bank in the world. That alone creates a kind of credibility and trust that no marketing campaign or influencer could ever buy. And it also opens the door to new speculation. If the Fed is interested now, how long before other US banks follow? What happens if XRP becomes the standard for US cross-border payments? These are no longer wild dreams. They are possible futures. The confirmation may have been quiet, but the message is loud and clear. XRP is stepping into the big leagues. So what does all of this really mean for XRP? The truth is, this moment could be one of the biggest turning points in Ripple's history. For years, the team behind Ripple has been building quietly, forming partnerships with over 300 financial institutions, signing deals with banks, working with payment providers, and laying down a global network. But the US Federal Reserve, even mentioning Ripple's name, brings everything into sharper focus. It tells the world that XRP is not just another altcoin sitting in the shadows of Bitcoin and Ethereum. It's a digital asset with real-world use, already solving real problems. And now, it may be trusted to play a key role in the next generation of global finance. That's not a small deal, that's huge. XRP is different from most cryptocurrencies because it's not trying to replace the financial system, it's trying to improve it. And that difference matters a lot to institutions like the Fed. XRP was designed for one purpose: to make cross-border payments faster, cheaper, and more reliable. Right now, sending money from one country to another can take days, involve several banks, and racks up fees. XRP does it in seconds, with almost no cost. That's why banks in Japan, the Middle East, and Europe are already using Ripple's on-demand liquidity (ODL) service. And now that the Federal Reserve has taken notice, the chances of XRP being adopted inside the US banking system just got much higher. If XRP becomes part of a standard payment system in America, or even globally, the demand for the token will increase. And when demand goes up, while supply stays the same, prices go up too. This is where the price speculation starts. Investors are starting to think, what happens if XRP becomes the bridge for trillions of dollars in international transactions? What happens if large financial players need to hold XRP to move money efficiently? That's when we start to understand why some people believe a $10,000 price tag isn't just a fantasy, it's a future that could be built, step by step, if adoption continues. Of course, no one can guarantee this.